Hi, hello, how are you? Welcome. Today I am so excited for the project I'm doing. We had like a long weekend, not last weekend, but the weekend before, and I've really struggled getting motivated to crochet because I'm kind of in that in-between point where I don't have it, where I need to make a big yarn purchase again, and I also just like need to kind of plan out my ideas. And I couldn't think of a better thing to kind of kick it all off and something I was really excited to make than this, because ever since I got really into crochet, this is like the #1 project that I was like, I have to make this. I need this in my life. In the US, there's really no cute Totoro like plushes that are cuddle size that aren't like $100+ and I can definitely make it for less than that. So that is what we are doing today, if you couldn't tell by the title, as well as like the, what is it called? Like the background picture, the main picture, whatever. We love Studio Ghibli in this house, and I started watching it with my son when he was little. This was actually the first movie we watched with Studio Ghibli and just loved it. Thought it was so cute, and it just somehow gave like a nostalgic feeling, even though I never watched it as a kid. And yeah, this definitely isn't my favorite story-wise Studio Ghibli movie, if you're wondering, but Totoro is definitely my favorite character. He's just so cute. I just think he looks like somebody I want to give like a big hug to. Anyways, we're gonna get on into it, and we're gonna start with our yarn. Now, I've used this yarn one other time and it's not my favorite, I'll be honest, but it is a longer yarn, so it has like the longer like fluffy bit to it, and I liked that, and I wanted him to be like very fluffy and cuddly. So here's the brand. I bought this off Amazon. You can buy it single, 3-pack, or 5-pack. I bought a 3-pack. We'll definitely be using at least 2 of these. They have 98 yards in them. And when I made my son's Garfield, which I also use this yarn, I think I almost used 2 full ones. So I think with this project today, we'll probably use close to 2 full ones. If not, I have a 3rd one just in case. And then I also went ahead and bought 3 skeins of the white, even though I doubt we'll use a full white. These also have 98 yards. I will always put down below how much I actually use. So if you want to use different yarn or use like a completely different type of yarn, you can have a general idea of how much you'll need. But yeah, so I got extra white because I will be making the other sizes. Today will be the big gray Totoro, and then I have to order yarn for the little blue one, but I will also be making the white one. I also think we'll make smaller sizes of these, but today is gonna be the jumbo size, and I've talked long enough. This is gonna be a long video, so let's get started. Oh, I did not show you 5mm hook, the other tools you'll need. Stitch marker, you'll probably need 2 for this, maybe 3 when we add the white, as well as a yarn needle to sew stuff together. But like I said, I have blabbed long enough. Let's get into the tutorial. Okay, hello, it's me from the future, putting this in the beginning because I want to state before this video starts that I did way too much white on the belly. It ended up way too big and way too short. So I had just finished him. I had to fix him. I did fix it a little bit, and I did just run up the stairs because I forgot to film this and I was putting the video together. But I did not fix the too much white on his side because it's just for us, but I did fix up top. So if you're making it, just be self-aware that my measurements for white are not correct. The white belly, make the white belly way smaller than I made mine and taller, or make it as tall and then add the additional part. So there's that. I also figured show the color code real quick. It does recommend a 4.5 to 5 or 4 to 5mm hook. I have never really seen that on yarn until I use this, so I'm just using a 5. But anyways, to get started here, we're going to do a magic ring, unless you're like me and are not good at doing a magic ring. This, you can see how long the fur is, or the fluff. So I do 1, 2, 3, 4 for my starting chain, then I turn into this, pull all the way through, and I have a magic ring. Now I'm going to do it once. Oh, okay, good. I was like, I'm gonna have to start over. Hold on. This yarn, you definitely want to make sure you do your stitches somewhat loose, because you will 100% lose them at first. So we have our first stitch, and I am going to mark that because I will lose it. And then let's see, do we need 6 or 8 into the center here? I will find out. So we will do 8 into our center here. So you find your center hole and you put 8 stitches into that. So there is that. And then we're gonna go into our first stitch, which I'm gonna leave the stitch marker in for this second, as I will lose it again. This yarn definitely gets a little easier to work with as you go, but the start is difficult because you just have a literal fluff ball. And this looks like a little dust bunny to start. So we're going to put 1 stitch into the first, then we'll close our stitch marker. Then we'll go back into that same stitch and get a second one, then go into the next stitch. Once I find it, there it is, and put 2 stitches into that one. Then the third, put 2 stitches. So we're going to do this all the way around. So we'll have 16 stitches in round 2. I completed round 2. So I'm once again going to go into my first stitch. I'm going to keep my stitch marker until I know I'm definitely in there and I'm not going to lose it. Oops, there we go. And I lost it. All right, so I go into first stitch. I'm going to mark it. Maybe, there we go. Then I'm going to go back into the first stitch once I find it. This is like definitely the hardest part about using fluffy yarn. Then I'm going to go into the next stitch just one time, then into the next stitch twice. So 1, 2, then into this stitch, then double up into the next stitch, and then into this stitch, then double up into the next stitch. And this is how we're gonna expand. So I will keep like touching base every round, but basically we'll be expanding until we get to the size we like, and we'll be adding an extra stitch in between our double stitches. So this, for round 3, it was double stitch, then 1 double stitch. Next round, as you'll see, will be double stitch, 1, 2, double stitch. So I'm prefacing that because I'm not gonna stand here and show every single round fully like this, just to not make this video 2 hours long. I also wanted to quickly show you can start to see the stitches. The further along we get, the easier they will be to see, but even now you can start to see your stitches along the side here. As I said, for round, is this 3, 4? The next round, let me do some math, but we'll do 2 stitches in the first, then 1, 2, then 2 stitches in the next, then 1, 2, then 2 stitches in the next, 1, 2, just like previous where we just did 1, then 2 stitches back in. We're gonna do that all the way around. We are going to keep expanding. So I'm gonna put 2 stitches into this stitch, then 1, 2, 3 into the next ones, then double up on the next stitch. So 2 in there, then 1, 2, 3, 2 in there, 1, 2, 3, all the way around. This time, instead of 3 stitches, we'll do 4 single stitches in between our doubles. So double stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, double stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way around. The next round, double stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, double stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way around. We are going to keep expanding, 2 stitches into 1, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 stitches in 1, 6, 2 stitches in 1, 6, all the way around. We're going to keep increasing, so 2 double stitch into the first, 7 double stitch, 7 double stitch all the way around. We're going to keep expanding, so we'll do 2 stitches in the first, 8, 2 stitches, 8, 2 stitches all the way around. Still expanding, so we'll do 2 stitches in the first, 9, 2 stitches, 9, 2 stitches all the way around. So we're going to keep expanding, 2 stitches in the first, 10, 2 stitches, 10, 2 stitches in the next, 10, all the way around. We're only going to do 2 more rounds of expanding. This time we'll do 2 stitches in the first, 11, 2 stitches in the next, 11, 2 stitches, 11, all the way around. Last round of expanding, 2 stitches in the first, 12, 2 stitches, 12, 2 stitches, 12, 2 stitches, all the way around. We are done expanding, so now we'll just be doing single stitches in every stitch, but we're also going to add the white. Now, you are more than welcome to do solid gray body and do a separate piece of all white and add it later, but with this thicker yarn, sewing on it is not the easiest, at least for me. If you are better, I applaud you 100% because it's definitely not easy. With that being said, I'm also going to pick which side I want to be the outside, which will actually be this one. So let me pull, ooh, don't lose my stitch. Pull my stitch so I don't lose it. There we go. I'm actually gonna pull my tail here to the other side because I want this to be my inside. And we also want to know that because we'll want to know where our tails of the other ones to be as well. So I'm trying to plan out in my head. I guess we will just make this like our point of like our side. And I am just going to add stitch markers to where I want to add the white in. I don't have to seal it. Where I want to put it from here, kind of fold it, put it on the other side. So that's where I'll add the white and then go back to gray. So move that. We will want to keep our starting stitch though. So we'll add our stitch marker back in. And close this one up because this can get knocked out. Then we're just going to do a single stitch in every stitch. You really can't see what I'm doing because of the long hair. And we're going to get to the stitch right before we switch over. I'm going to pull the yarn through. Then we're going to switch to white. So I'm going to do a slip knot on white. Going to make this, oops, let me not lose my slip knot here. Going to put my slip knot on here, and then I'm going to pull it through. So this is now our working yarn. It's going to fight with me a little bit, and then I'm also going to put my gray yarn to the inside because, like I said, this is going to be our inside. We don't want our yarn hanging out because we'll have to cut it. You can technically fix it, but I'm going to try and not have to cut it. And now, oops, we don't need that stitch marker. We might need it later. We shall see. And then we find our way to the next stitch here. All right, I had to like move some yarn around. There's a lot going on. And we're just going to go into our work here, like we're crocheting regularly, and crochet with white, single stitch in every stitch because we are not just staying the same. We're not expanding or decreasing till we get to the pink, and then we'll switch back to the gray in the same way. This is what the white looks after one round of not expanding. So I am going to crochet a few more rounds, and I'll let you know how many rounds I go of not expanding, because before we're done with the white, I think we will kind of taper him off a little bit. So I will do this and I will touch back with you guys, letting you know how many rounds I did. Here's what it looks like after 5 rounds of staying the same with the white. I'm going to guess I will probably do close to 20, if not maybe more than that. We shall see. This is 5. We have a long way to go though, so I'm gonna keep on going. Here is after 10 rounds with the white and staying the same. Now this is definitely gonna be, you won't see the full picture until we get a little further along. I'm still thinking I'll probably have 10 more rounds of white, but we shall see. I am also almost through my first skein of gray. I will come back and let you know how many rounds in I've gotten through with the gray and when I'll have to like add the new, you know what I mean? So that's probably the next time I will touch back with you guys, and I'll show you what it looks like at 15 rounds with the staying the same and the... All right, so I just started round 12 and I only have a little bit of yarn left. I'm switching over to white. So I am just gonna leave this, and when I get over to this side, I will switch back to, or else when I switch back to gray, I'll put on my next skein. So that's about how much yarn I got out of one skein. I am a little nervous. I definitely should have enough, but I am a wee bit nervous that I might be a little short. So we shall see. But yes, so I just started round 12. Of course, I have been using white. I will definitely be only using one skein of white, but this is after 15 rounds of staying the same and white. I'm going to keep staying the same width-wise altogether, but I am going to start reducing my white. As you can see, I was trying to round it, but we can touch that up at the end. But yeah, so I'm going to start reducing how much white I use, so I'll just be slowly kind of rounding it this way. So it'll start out slow, and then I'll probably just round it kind of like that. That's the goal. This will be... I don't think I'll fully show like the tutorial of doing this, just kind of slowly incorporate more gray, and then I'll touch back with like where I'll just do a little bit of white to have it rounded. I feel like I made my white belly a little too big on him, but that's okay. So I've done three. You can kind of see I am gonna go in after with white yarn and kind of like fix these like sharper points here. Same with this part right here, I'm gonna fix that. But I did 3 rounds of reducing, or by, I guess technically reducing the white, but adding more gray. So I do 3 stitches of gray, then switch over, 3 stitches of gray, then switch over, 3 stitches of gray, then switch over. And I'm gonna do that one more time. So this will be technically round 19 of staying the same, not increasing or decreasing by stitches. And I will be finishing off the white here. So will be 19 rounds of white. 16, 17, 18, 19, all decreased on both sides, the white, by 3 stitches. So that is for the belly, and then we'll get to start decreasing overall for the head. For anyone who had a hard time visualizing, this is kind of what we look like so far. I did tuck this side because it's gonna work out a little bit better. Like I said, I think I made his white belly a little too big. It probably should have been about here. Probably should have cut that into gray instead, but that's okay. You know, we live and we learn. Also, that's a big bonus if you choose to do the white separately. There is that. So we'll now reduce. I did do 2 rounds of just solid gray after the white. So this was round 20 and 21 of staying the same, which started here. So doing just a single stitch in every stitch. But now I'm going to slowly reduce. I don't know how quickly we're going to reduce, but we're just going to play it by ear. What I mean by reducing is I'm going to go into my first stitch, pull yarn through there, then go into my second stitch, pull yarn through. So I'm going to put 2 stitches into a single stitch. I'm going to kind of refer to it exactly that way as we go on, once again, so I'm not making this video 2 hours long. And then we're gonna go into the next stitch for 1, 2, 3, I do see a hair, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then I'm going to do 2 stitches into a single stitch, so I have 3 loops on, pull through, I reduced 2 stitches down to 1. Why I picked 12 is where we stopped expanding. So typically for me, that's always where I start when I start reducing. Then I'm going to do 12 stitches, then I'm going to reduce 2 stitches into 1, go all the way back to the start. Now for the second round of reducing, we're going to reduce 2 stitches into 1. So you'll go through the first and the second and reduce into 1, then do 11, then 2 into 1, then 11, then 2 into 1, all the way around. Continuing reducing, we're going to put 2 stitches into 1, so weave through 1, then 2, then pull through, 10, 2 stitches into 1, 10, 2 stitches into 1, all the way around. Now, Totoro kind of has like a shoulder where it dips and then his head kind of goes straight up. So this time we're going to skip 9. So we're going to go 2 stitches into 1, weave through 1 and 2 and pull through. And then we're going to do 8 to try and get that more drastic pull in before his head, if that makes sense. So be 2 stitches into 1, 8, 2 stitches into 1, 8, all the way around. I also, so far it's not like reducing too much, so I'm gonna do an extra reduction again by putting 2 stitches into 1, then 6, 2 stitches into 1, 6, 2 stitches into 1, all the way around. And then I think I'm gonna keep it straight. We'll see how it looks for the head. I'm still not reduced as much as I would like. You can see it's just too slight. So I'm gonna keep reducing. So 2 stitches into 1, 4, 2 stitches into 1, 4, and I'm hoping that will give kind of enough of a deviation to feel like it's reduced enough. We'll see. Still not reduced as much as I would like it, so we're going to put 2 stitches into 1, 2 stitches, 2 stitches into 1, 2 stitches, all the way around. And yes, once we stay the same again, I'm not going to be this drastic, but I am just trying to, like, I don't even know if you'll be able to really see. It's just not reducing quite as much as I wanted. So yeah, I probably should have started reducing earlier, but you live and you learn. So let's jump into it. I just finished, or I'm about to be done with my second skein of yarn. I'm just gonna go ahead and add my third skein. I'm very nervous about my guesstimation of how much yarn I'll need. I think I might have underestimated. So I might have to order another skein of yarn to make sure I can make his ears and his arms and legs. So I think his legs will probably be the last thing I make, because he can go a day or 2 without legs. He'll be okay. But yes, that's partly why I ordered this yarn, because it's with Amazon, and it seems like this is in a warehouse nearby, because both of these were on like 1 or 2 day shipping. So adding my third skein, and this time I'll go ahead and say for my next round, I'm just gonna put a single stitch in every stitch. I'm not reducing or expanding. I'm just gonna stay the same. So I'm looking at this laid flat, and I'm kind of thinking that if I keep up with this, Totoro will end up like way bigger than I had planned, which like is fine. I'm okay with that. But I'm trying to decide. One, I should have made like his white belly up to here, which yes, I can fix that after the fact, because his white belly does kind of like go up to his shoulders. And so I just like have to decide, do I want to just make him like rotund and round and put his face here? Or do I want to make him like the accurate shape and maybe expand the white? Or just leave it where he's got a lot extra gray? I just don't know. I'm not sure how I want to do it, because I want him to be big and cuddly, and I definitely was not planning on just making him like rotund. I wanted to give him a little more shape, where, you know, his arms come out here. I feel like I just have to keep going with it, and then go from there, because I don't know. I feel like I can't picture it right now. I think I've decided I'm just gonna make him like chunky and round. If I were to go back, I would have to go all the way back to here. And that's a lot of work. And it's very soon and close to when I have to go pick up my son, which will definitely slow me down a lot. I do have like a quick errand to run as well. So I think I just have to commit with the shape I have. And this probably means in the future, depending on how this looks, I might have to make another one, which would be just, you know, terrible to have two, right? So we're going to stick with this. I did do 3 rounds of staying the same, not expanding, not, uh-oh. Okay, phew. I was like, did I lose my spot? 3 rounds of staying the same, but I'm going to go back to reducing because like I said, I'm going to make this his face. His face is going to go like right about here, so I don't want to reduce too quickly. So I am going to do 2 stitches into 1, 6, 2 stitches into 1, 6, 2 stitches into 1, all the way around. We're going to continue to reduce, but much less drastically this time. We're going to do 2 stitches into 1, weave through 1, then the second, pull through, 5, weave through 1, then the second, pull through for 1, then 5, all the way around. I did not place these eyes yet. I'm just kind of trying to visualize. I think, so I did not include that we need safety eyes or acrylic yarn to make safety eyes, or in fact the nose, the whiskers, the mouth. I dropped the ball on that. But I also think I'm going to go buy white felt, so you have like the white of his eyes, because I feel like that's a very key part to make him look like himself. So I was just playing around with that to get an idea. I'm not 100% sure if that's the size I'm going to use, but anyways, I'm going to put 2 stitches into 1, 4, 2 stitches into 1, 4, all the way around. Now we're going to do 2 stitches into 1, 3, 2 stitches into 1, 3, all the way around. I think I will just have to add more white here. I also haven't like officially placed the eyes. I also think I'm just going to do like the trick where you do acrylic yarn part way around. I thought about getting felt, but I haven't really done that before, and I feel like it's a little risky. So I'm gonna go ahead and add his face because I'm having a hard time visualizing his face. So I think that will help me a lot by going ahead and adding it. I'm not fully in love with the face. I think the whiskers kind of fell to the background. I embroidered the nose, which you really can't see, and I also embroidered a mouth. The eyes, I'm going to add like a little bit of white to them next. Yeah, I just like sometimes I get so disappointed because I just don't love it. And I'm hoping I'll love it when he's done, but right now I don't love it, and I get very like discouraged and upset because you work so hard and you're so excited about something and it just doesn't work out all the time. So let me add the white of his eyes, maybe it'll help. We'll see. The bad part about fluffy yarn, if anyone has any recommendations when embroidering, is the little tufts of fur sticking. So this time I am reducing still, so 2 stitches into 1, 1, 2, 2 stitches into 1, 1, 2. Also, once I added the white, which I need to kind of like adjust here, it did help with the face a little bit. I'm still not in love, but like I said, sometimes it's a slow burn. You got to get to the end to love your project. Here's his face, which I'll definitely have to trim like the fur around his eyes, but as you can see, I did way too much white. So yeah, I did way too much white by a ton, which is super fantastic, but I'm hoping once he gets put together, oh, he doesn't look anything like what I wanted. You can't even see the like white in his eyes. I really should have just got felt because I followed a tutorial and this one worked out perfectly and this one's just not working with the eye placement. Hopefully it'll work out a little better. I need to find some way to give him whiskers too because these just fell flat. Maybe I'll use fluffy black yarn. Maybe I'll try some velvet yarn. I also have to add his little chevron bits, but like I said, I'm considering bringing the cream up high. So I'm going to do 2 stitches into 1, 1, 2, 2 stitches into 1, 1. I decided to remove the mouth because I just didn't like it. I think we're going to go mouthless. Controversial, I know. I could always stitch or like sew, not sew, but crochet a little circle and add it, which I might later, but for now we're just going mouthless. I did not like it. Next, we're gonna put 2 stitches into one, then a single stitch, 2 stitches in one, then a single stitch, all the way around. As you can see, we're almost to the point of closing his head, and I am going to crochet a separate white like half circle to add onto here to kind of, I think it will make him look a little better. Now I am going to seal the head up by weaving back and forth through the top here, and I will say I like him a lot better without the mouth. And his shape has come together a little bit more here. Let's try and show. It's kind of still hard to show, but yeah, so I'm gonna take my needle. So I'm just going to take it and weave back and forth through the top pieces. You really can't see, but I just go this way, then into the next one that way, then into the next one that way. You cannot really see it, but I did a starting chain of 25 for the white belly correction, we're gonna call it. Actually, I should probably do more, so I'll actually do a starting chain of 30. All right, so I did 2 rows of 29, and now I'm going to reduce by putting 2 stitches into one at the start, across, and I will do that for a certain amount of rows when I let you know, or when I do it, I'll let you know. But for the unforeseeable future, we'll put 2 stitches into one and then go. I did 9 rows of reducing by 1, and now I just have to sew it on, and I think he looks a lot better now. After I partly sew this on, I'm gonna start adding the little, like, I guess they're like chevron bits onto his chest. All right, you can see it's like a little bulky, but it's actually not too bad. This is how he looks so far. I pulled my things in over here because I'm gonna put his arm here. So I have to do his ears, his arms, and potentially legs. I haven't decided because I feel like his legs aren't overly noticeable, and I might also try and add some better whiskers, but we shall see. But yeah, that's what that looks like. Very cute, very soft. And yeah, I crocheted one ear. I have not like sewn it together yet, because to kind of show you guys, I don't think making it anything special matters, but still show you how. Do a starting chain of 6, and then we'll do 2 rows of 5. It's kind of hard to see, but after your second row, you're going to add a single stitch to the end, and then we're gonna have 6 stitches into this one, and then the next row we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna add a stitch into the end and go straight across, so we'll have 7 stitches. Then I did 3 rows of staying the same, and now I'm going to reduce. So I'm going to put 2 stitches into one, go across, then do 1 more where I do 2 stitches into one and go across, and then I am done. I will sew them together and then sew them on top of his head. His ears are attached, which makes a world of a difference with how he looks. I made 1 arm. Here's what it's gonna look like. Now I'm gonna show you how to make the arm, and then once we attach this, we'll be done. You're going to start with a magic ring and then put 6 stitches into the center. After you do 6 stitches into the center, we'll put 2 stitches into every stitch, so this round you should have 12 stitches. For round 3, you'll put 2 stitches into one, then a single stitch, 2 stitches in the next, then 1, then 2 stitches in the next, all the way around. For my last round of expanding, I'm going to put 2 stitches into one, then 1, 2, 2 stitches in the next, then 1, 2, all the way around. Now I need 12 rounds of staying the same to get the length. You can also increase or decrease the length of the arm. I personally did 12. I am going to kind of like stitch it shut and then sew it on to give him a little more floppy look, I hope. So yeah, so 12 rounds staying the same, and then we'll attach I will put a little stuffing in here, then we'll attach the arm. I finished his arm, and this is how much yarn I have left of my third skein. So I won yarn chicken. Very excited. If I would have added legs, I would have lost. But there's no legs on this edition of Totoro. So let's assemble his arms onto it. So for the arms, I am going to do like what I did with the head, where I just weave back and forth through the top all the way around and then pull it tight. Once you do that, it kind of looks like this. It has like a nice flat top to it. I did not stuff it. I changed my mind on that because it stays nice and like puffy. I would recommend, if you have more time than me, I'm already like burning out here because this ended up taking way longer because of some of my errors, but I'd recommend putting beans in here, especially if you do legs, and make him a little weighted, but I just did not have it in me at this point. And then basically I'm just going to weave it in. You can see how it's just attached up here. So I literally just weaved from like I weaved into the body, and then I'm just gonna go back in through the arm, then weave in through the body, back through the arm, in through the body, through the arm, just where it is attached just right here so it's floppy. I'm gonna tie it and then go all the way back, tie it, and then I just have to weave my... The lighting is terrible, but here he is. We'll get a close-up where you can see his eyes, and then back where we can see his floppy arms, his little ears. I do have to weave in my ends, but I wanted to finish this video and put it up for you guys. I really was worried about this. I really was worried that I wasted my time, but I actually really love him, and I'm very proud of what I made, even though you can kind of see where I messed up. I am, as you saw in the beginning, I did put a preface on here that I did way too much white and not tall enough. So yeah, that's okay, because you know, that's why you make the video, then you edit it later. But yeah, I love him. I love his little nose. I might add whiskers later that are a little easier to see, but for now, I think he's great. I think he's wonderful. And you guys should let me know what Studio Ghibli character I should make next. I'm definitely, like I said, I'm going to make the fluffy white Totoro. I really want to make the blue one as well, and I'll try and size them out appropriately as well. And I will definitely want to make a small gray one, because how cute is he? But I would say I really enjoyed this, but it worried me for about 50% of the time. So I don't know if it was more enjoying or if I was more stressed. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you make this guy, please, please, please send it to me or tag me in it on Instagram. I would love to see. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye!